G'day everyone. Here we are sitting on the ground at the Heli Seeker base in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. I've built a few more huts and added them into the sim. I haven't tested them again like I did on my last flight, so I'm going to take off now and we'll test a few of them. So I think we're all good to go. I'll just unpause it. So we've got the Cascade Hut as our first one we'll visit. Which way is the wind going? Just behind us at the moment. So we'll head straight down the valley here out to the west towards the Cascade Hut. So I've added a few more in while I'm learning how to use the editor. So I've added, you see, the Cascade, and I think last time we did the Lodge. What else did we do? We did Pikiwatia and the Kakapo. And so this time I've added Cascade, the Mangatinoka, which is just down the valley from the Lodge, and the Oamaru Doc Hut. I think it's a privately leased block, the East Creek Hut and the Mangatinoka Doc Hut. So we'll try and drop by most of those on the way back. Let's see, it might be a little bit longer video because there's a little bit of ground to cover. But I'm pretty, just keep learning new tricks of how to build the scenery, and it's just so cool for the Microsoft one for building cool little spots to try and land the helicopter in. So it'll be a wee way down this valley we've got to go to get to the Cascade Hut.
Bay Approach Helicopter Hotel November Lima is type helicopter 500E, 3 miles southwest of November Zulu Hotel, Sierra Hotel, 2,800 feet. Request flight following.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima Bay Approach. Squawk 3515.
Squawk 3515 Helicopter, Hotel November Lima.
Helicopter Hotel
So this, it must be a hut down there. I'll have to have a look at that. I might be able to fix that one if it is one. Add my own one there.
Roger Helicopter, Hotel November Lima.
The Cascade Hut's got a little... I've never actually been to a lot of these huts, so I'm only going off photos I can find on Google, and some of them don't have the best, so it's a bit tricky to work out exactly where the pads are, but going off the high resolution satellite images you can sort of work it out. So this one looks as though it's beside the river, so I've just put it beside the river, and the hut's actually back up in the trees by the look of it. So I've modelled the hut, but it's obviously not a real high detail model because it's you don't really see it from the pad. It's up in the trees. So this is a dock hut, and we'll head down there and have a little look. Just down the end of this valley, tucked in beside the Tarangataupo River. Real world time and weather. So it looks like it's not a bad day down there today. So it's basically where this valley meets that valley coming down from left to right ahead of us. So I'm going to duck out to the right here through this little saddle and do our approach from downstream up and head upstream to land on the pad. It's just easier to get in that way, the way I've sort of modelled it anyway, because I haven't actually been there and I couldn't find any photos of the actual pad. Just up there on the corner, I think. Drop down towards the river. It's a pretty tight spot too. I've set it up deliberately to make it a little bit tricky. I'm not sure. It does look like it'll be a little bit tight in reality too, but you can see there's trees change a little bit there because I've got using some different model trees because they look a bit more like beech trees. Ballooned up a little bit there at the end. Just because it's a little bit dark in the headset with that sun shadow, I might come out and turn the weather, the time of day, a little bit more around because it'll look a little bit better too. So I'll just do that now. While I'm just flying along here. Make it middle of the afternoon. That'll be easier to see now. Just yeah, sometimes it's the way the sun is, it's in the headset, sometimes it doesn't quite show up that easy. Come back around. Have another go. I need to tidy up downstream a little bit here so that the river's not quite so wide. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit easier to see now. The wind is coming in from behind us here because I'm pretty sure we'll land it here. So there we go. So you can see you can add quite a lot of detail with the editor and the Microsoft Flight Sim, so it just makes it so much more visually cool when you're coming into land in these little spots, like more reference cues and everything. So we'll just lift off out of here. I'll show you the hut as well while we're here. Let's see, I put a seeker there. I'll just hover up over these trees so you can see where the Cascade Hut is. You won't be able to see a real good view of it because it is down in the trees, but just up here. I'll come along a little bit. There we go. I'll just flick to the outside view so you can have a little look. See how close we can actually get in here. Basically get the idea of the shape of it and everything anyway. Right, now we'll head to the Oamaru. Might make it back to real world again, time, by early morning at least.
New Zealand Centre Helicopter, Hotel November Lima, is type helicopter 500E 5 miles northeast of November Zulu Mike Alpha Sierra, 2,500 feet. Request flight following.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima, New Zealand Center. Squawk 7334.
Squawk 7334, Helicopter Hotel November Lima.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima radar contact 6 miles northeast of November Zulu Mike Alpha Sierra, 3,600 feet. QNH 330.35.
Not quite sure if I'm heading in the right direction at the moment. I'll get over these ridges. I'm going to look roughly this way somewhere. Pretty sure it's out this way somewhere. We won't bother doing the Mangatinoka one this trip because it's a little bit off to the south of us, so we'll do that on another trip when we're over in that direction. Coming up on the Oamaru River, it should be down in this next little valley. Should be able to see the Mohaka ahead of us down sort of below the ridges in the distance there. So we're going to go to the Oamaru Doc Hut, which is on the western side of the river. Probably wasn't quite the most direct route. We should have come down through that valley possibly. Just because I've only just added these in, I've got to get a little bit more familiar with the directions between without looking at a map. Right, there we are. So we got. I just put in a couple of tents and that in the there for people camping, and the hut's just up on the top there. So we'll take off and have a quick look at the hut. Again, it's not a hugely detailed model, just so that you get the idea of you're at the right spot. Just going off photos, so I don't have any dimensions, so it's tricky to get the scaling exactly right. Right, now we'll head to East Creek, which I think is on private lease, but I haven't made a hut for this one. I'm just using a generic building that I could, because I haven't been there and I don't quite know what the hut looks like. I couldn't find any photos of it. It's just a nice handy hut just up a valley over here with scrub, some tea tree and that just nearby. The old Oamaru airstrip. And then we'll head straight south of here towards Mangatinoka Doc Hut. And we'll probably call it there once we get to the Mangatinoka.
500 east, 6 miles south of November Zulu Hotel Sierra Hotel, 2,000 feet. Request flight following.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima, New Zealand Center. Squawk 4613.
Squawk 4613, Helicopter Hotel November Lima.
Here's the
Helicopter Hotel November
East
Lima
Creek.
radar contact 6 miles south of November Zulu Hotel Sierra Hotel 2,300 feet. QNH tree 0 decimal tree 5.
Roger, helicopter, Hotel November Lima.
Just turn into there was a bit of wind coming up that valley, so we had to sort of flare into it there. Dust shower these guys. A few people here, bit of gear around just to make it look a bit more like lifelike. I do want to replace the hut at some point because it's not very accurate, but at least it's got a hut there. Okay, we'll take over here and we'll head into the Mangatinoka. Climb out into the wind.
New Zealand Center helicopter, Hotel November Lima, is type helicopter 500E, 6 miles south of November Zulu Hotel, Sierra Hotel, 1,900 feet. Request flight following.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima, New Zealand Center. Squawk 6635.
Squawk 6635 helicopter, Hotel November Lima.
Bit of a breeze around.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima radar contact 7 miles south of November Zulu Hotel Sierra Hotel 3,100 feet. QNH tree 0 decimal tree 5.
Roger, helicopter, Hotel November Lima.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start looking a little bit for this one because it's in quite thick bush where it is. Yeah, I'm unsure whether it's over the next range or this range just in front of us here. Could be. It's going to be in the shadow too, I'd say. These big steep hills. This is one I haven't flown into either, so it's going to be interesting to see what the approach is going to be like into it. So I've only just finished editing the this one, so is that it down there? I think that. Let's go have a look because it sort of looks like this is the area, but unfamiliar. Yeah, I think that's it. No, that's the wrong clearing. There is a clearing there. We may be over another ridge to the south of us. Or is this it down here? Might be a little bit further downstream. I mean, that might be the that clearing back there was probably the Mangatinoka head shelter. Slightly different coloured trees. It makes it a little bit easier to find, but they do look more accurate. Just come in from downstream end. It's pretty tight in here. I'll go to the outside view once we're landed so you can actually see where we are. Have a bit more of a look because it's a little bit tricky with this light and shadow at the moment. So we'll flick to the outside view. As you can see, it's a fairly tight little clearing to get into. It's not super tight, but it is a bit of a challenge to get in and out. Trees there may need to fix as they're on a little bit of a steep angle. Sometimes it doesn't quite show up in the editor. Most of the time it does, but there's it just definitely needs a little bit of fixing. Alright, let's just see if we can get out of here. I'll try another approach into there just because that was quite a fun one. I'll try one from the other end. And then we might just call the flight there or park it up there, so it's not a super long video then.
New Zealand Center helicopter, Hotel November Lima, is type helicopter 500E, 9 miles south of November Zulu Hotel, Sierra Hotel, 2,100 feet. Request flight following.
Helicopter Hotel November Lima, New Zealand Center. Squawk 7 tree.
Squawk 7 tree. Helicopter Hotel November Lima.
Gotta watch those trees there. Alright, we'll shut it down here. Well, I might not actually, because I'll try and do some recording of the outside as well, and so I can add that into the video. So I'll just pause it here, and we'll call that it. I'll catch you on the next one.